Well, hello there and welcome. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you on EWTN Radio. My name is Jerry Usher. I am with Debbie Georgiani. We have the show team in place today. Ace McKay is our producer. Jeff Burson on social media. Matt Gavensky is the one you're going to talk to when you call in to be a part of today's conversation. Hi, Deb.
Hello, Jerry. And today, of course, is the feast day of St. Nicholas. And we titled the show Jolly Old St. Nick. And you may have some traditions around this day in your family or when you were a child. I think it's wonderful to share those today. But we're talking about the art of giving today, really what it means to give and to give from the heart and to give joyfully. And so let's do this in honor of the feast day of St. Nicholas, and especially if your name is Nick or Nicholas or Nicole or Nicolette, you got to call in. So our number to dial, and you don't have to be Catholic to call in, the number to dial is 833-288-3986.
Well, this is the time of the year when giving is on the minds and hearts of all of us. So love to hear from you, Take Two family. How does it make you feel when you give really meaningful gifts to your loved ones at Christmas time? I know we all love to receive things, and we all typically, most of us do receive things this time of year. But like Debbie said, we can talk about the art of giving today, why it's so important to give of ourselves. What kinds of things do you like to do by way of giving this time of year? Do you give things? Do you give stuff? Do you give time? Do you give treasure? Let's talk about this from many different angles today on this Feast of St. Nicholas. 833-288 EWTN, 833-288-3986.
And Jerry, I'm so glad you said that, because you were talking about how we hear it said a lot in ministry of giving of your time, your talent, and your treasure. So true. And because time is precious, God gives you those gifts and talents. You should be sharing those and spreading those, and your treasure. Okay, what is given to us in abundance from God and the blessings we receive, we should be giving those over and sharing those as well. Time, talent, and treasure. So have you had people say to you, and I'm just curious, you know how you hear there's a lot of takers in the world, a lot of takers, right? But maybe somebody has said to you, boy, you have such a giving heart. You are such a giver. Has anybody ever said that to you? Why don't you call in and share? We're not asking you to brag about yourself or boast or anything like that. We really want to listen and learn and grow. The season of Advent is meant for us to dive deeply so that we can forever be changed. Okay, it's very important. So we have to learn from one another, and we're not having these conversations at the water cooler anymore, or at the coffee station. It's not happening because everybody's kind of on their own little island still from the pandemic. So let's have the conversation here, a safe place on Take Two. We are the Take Two family. Let's go, you guys. 833-288-3986.
Well, maybe there's someone about whom you can say that. You can say that somebody that I know is just has an amazing giving heart. They're always looking to give and sacrifice themselves, pour themselves out for other people. So if there's somebody you know who fits that description, call and let's kind of give them a little bit of a shout out today. Honor them on the program, because giving is so very important. It seems to come around this time of year, but what about throughout the entire year? Do you know somebody who's just always looking to serve others, give themselves, pour themselves out on behalf of others? 833-288-3986 is the number. And you can also get a hold of us at email take2@ewtn.com. You can post your chats on the social media. Hi, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, and post on the show website at take2show.com.
Marty and I tend to be more givers than we have a difficult time receiving sometimes. I had to learn how to receive gracefully and graciously, in the sense of being receptive to it. I think sometimes when people give you things, I used to feel awkward. I'd be like, okay, so I had to give, something back. Have you ever done that? It's an interesting kind of dance, and that's why we called it the art of giving, because it's an interesting dance. What would you say about yourself, Jerry? Do you feel more comfortable giving than receiving? Have you learned how to receive, in a easy way? Because a lot of people want to give, right?
Well, it's become easier for me to receive. It was very difficult, I'd say, earlier in my life. I would classify myself as someone who'd rather give than to receive. But I think as you grow, especially in your relationship with the Lord, humility. Well, humility is merely just acknowledging reality as it is, and we all have, inherent worth and dignity. And if somebody wants to honor me or honor you or honor somebody else by giving them something, we should honor them in return by receiving it. And that's the kind of the philosophy that I've developed into here in these latter years of my life.
Yeah, I love that. That is really good. Well, after having a second bout with cancer that I'm still working through, I will tell you that I've become a prayer beggar. I have no problem whatsoever begging, and I mean literally begging for prayers. And it's almost, I don't know what's the matter with me. It's almost an addiction. Everywhere I go, I'm asking people to please pray, and then I feel a little bit guilty afterwards. I'm like, oh, maybe they should be praying for someone else and not me, and but then I just know the power of prayer, and so I love receiving prayers, but I also love praying for folks. So that's a way for me to give back. So, we just shared about ourselves. We want to hear from you, the Take Two family. Are you a giver? Would you rather receive? Are you practicing that during this season of Advent? Do you want to adopt more of that idea of being able to give freely and generously and joyfully, right? Well, there's one open phone line, and you don't have to be Catholic to call in. Pick up that phone line and share with us from your heart. Please, 833-288-3986.
Well, this is going to be another impactful conversation. We can be sure of that. Mark is standing by in Tennessee. We have Marie in Virginia, Ben in Kansas City. And as Debbie said, a line open there, but you have to be fast. If you want to get that open phone line, be a part of the first group of callers here on today's show. Jolly old St. Nick, we're talking about the art of giving. How about receiving? Would you say you're one or a little bit more of one than the other? Do you love to give? Let's talk about this from a lot of different perspectives today at 833-288-3986.
December is the month dedicated to the Immaculate Conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary. We're invited to meditate on the virtue of purity. Join us in this devotion to the Immaculate Conception with rosaries, devotional candles, meditations, statues, keychains, and flags, available at EWTNRC.com. And get a free Immaculate Conception Novena from us by visiting EWTN.com/Immaculate Conception. We hope you will pray this beautiful novena with us as we celebrate the solemnity of the Immaculate Conception during December.
Here's a thought from Mother Angelica's perpetual calendar. Let's not let the season pass without a depth of spirituality in our hearts that lets us ponder. Ponder the mystery of how and why this omnipotent God, before whom angels tremble, would come down and live 9 months in the most pure and holy woman that ever lived and ever will live. He was confined in a womb with that infinite intelligence, infinite power, and power of the Holy Spirit. Mother Angelica's perpetual calendar is available at EWTNRC.com.
The words of Blessed Carlo Acutis.
The Eucharist is the highway to heaven.
And this.
Continuously ask your guardian angel for help. Your guardian angel has to become your best friend.
Is there something wrong with you?
Is it freeze dried?
It is good to have you with us here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. Right to your phone calls about giving, receiving, being this time of the year where all of us have that on our minds. First, I want to tell you about quickly a book by EWTN Publishing. It's brand new. It's Mother Angelica's Lessons on Genesis. It's drawn from Mother's popular biblical spirituality TV series. You know, Mother was fantastic. She could tackle any topic, and through her personal accounts and down-to-earth reflections, you will enter into each passage and experience God's love and guidance like never before. Mother Angelica's life lessons. They'll show you how to stop looking back in order to look ahead and how to enjoy the promises of God. You'll see the importance of consulting the Lord in all things and the power of your prayers in helping convert sinners even at the last moment of their lives. Got to get this book, Mother Angelica's Lessons on Genesis, available at EWTNRC.com. We encourage you, buy Catholic folks, shop EWTNRC.com.
Okay, we do have that open phone line still because somebody dropped off. So please pick that up if you feel prompted by the Spirit. 833-288-3986. We are a worldwide, very safe platform for you to share your lived experiences, your understanding of jolly old St. Nick, the traditions in your family when you were a child, or the art of giving and receiving. We're talking about it from all angles. That's the way we roll here on Take Two. So Mark is up first in Tennessee on the EWTN app. Hello, Mark. Welcome.
I'm back. I love you guys. I hope I don't call in too often, and I don't want to feel rushed. I do have a lot to say, but I'll take a kind nudge to be quiet and go on my way.
Okay.
So my son's name's Nicholas. I've made the habit over the years. I am now divorced 8 years, and putting something in Nicholas's shoe every year. And I wanted my grandchildren baptized Catholic so bad I couldn't see straight and prayed about it, and God was going to draw a straight line with a crooked pencil about that. That's another story. Last year I called my daughter-in-law up and said, would you put money in Nicholas's shoes? Would you put a $20 bill in there for me? And she said, yeah, but I won't do it for Sterling, my 3-year-old grandson. He's not Catholic. So I knew that wasn't a good sign. So I've been working on that ever since. So this year, I asked Nicholas if he wanted to go out to lunch today, and he declined. And then I weaseled my way in by giving her a free salon, facial, and haircut, and wrote her a note and put it in, and was able to deliver it yesterday saying, would you please put this in Nicholas's shoe tomorrow? It's the Feast of St. Nicholas. I know I gave you $20. You said I was pleased that he bought a meal. However, this year, I don't want you to feel left out, so I put an extra $20 in there so you can't take you to lunch. And then I said, if that doesn't happen, just use it to tip the salon. So those are the ways, and her birthday was here, and I wrote her a note and put a quote in there about what a good wife is from Sirach, to come to realize it's probably not in her Bible. She probably had to go see my son's Bible. So anyways, that's the way that things go. I would like to say that the best way to give, to really, really how generous God is, and I used to be really cheap. I like to say frugal. I have woundedness around childhood, and all I want is control and safety, so I put a lot of energy and money, and I've let go of that, and I give generously now, and I can't imagine how more generous God's given back to me. But just treat people with extra kindness and see how they respond. You will receive abundant joy in return. That's been my experience. Got a free bucket of balls last week. I went and did some shopping. I didn't have a lot of time, and a lady just walked me through it in a half hour. I saved 50%. It was just unbelievable.
Mm. Well, yeah, so much you've shared with us there, Mark. I just want to kind of zero in on one of the last things you said, and that is, show extra kindness. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody, we're all walking around. So many people are walking around wounded. People can't make eye contact today with one another. If they pass you on the street or in the grocery store or something, they'll look down, they'll look away. There's something going on inside of everybody. I always make, I use that quote, Debbie, you'll remember this, everyone you meet is engaged in a battle you know nothing about, so be kind always. And I think when we show that extra amount of kindness, we could turn a life around. We don't know. We may never encounter that person ever again in our lives. But what the Holy Spirit's prompting has caused us to do could be, life-changing, maybe even soul-saving for somebody.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree, Mark. To zero in on kindness, absolutely, and that is a gift. It's a gift to give of the heart. And Mark, it's so obvious when you call in. You have such a beautiful heart. Thank you so much for being a valued member of the Take Two family. I think your contribution today was important. It is important, and thank you for stepping up. And you can call us anytime. I know we try to rotate everybody in every couple weeks, and we understand that just to get a variety because we are a worldwide platform. But we're just an email away. Take2 at EWTN.com. Thanks, Mark.
Okay. 833-288-3986. Are you in the giving spirit this time of year? Do you just love to give? Debbie and I and Ace, our producer, were talking off the air. I mentioned how one of my frustrations in life is when somebody won't let me give something to them or won't let me do something for them.
Yeah.
It's because, we all want to bless somebody by doing or giving something to them. But it sort of frustrates our side of the bargain, if somebody, oh no, that's okay. You don't understand. I want to do this. Please let me do this.
You're forcing yourself, and it doesn't.
Yeah, there are almost times you have to beg some people to to let you do something nice for them.
Wasn't there a movie about that? There was a movie.
If not, there should
That's
be.
Hilarious. Yeah, when you're forcing, and you don't want to do that because it sounds so aggressive. Please let me help you. Would you just let me help you? Right? So that is so true, and you're denying them the opportunity to receive those graces and blessings, and so it goes both ways. I think we really do need to explore and develop the art of giving and receiving. So Jerry, let's hear what Marie has to say in Virginia, and Marie is on the EWTN app. Hello, Marie. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm kind of a strange person. I love to help other people, and I love to watch their response, but I don't love to be with accolades for it. I can't do it. So what I do to avoid all of that, when I go out like for breakfast, maybe with some friends, a friend, or by myself, and I just let the Lord talk to me. So there may be people at a table around close by me that I have a feeling that they're having a hard time and they're trying to make ends meet and they've got kids and stuff. And so then I ask the server, give me their ticket. Don't say a word, please. So I pay for theirs and mine and hurry up and hit the door. But I usually go to the same place or going out to eat. So the server will see me again, and she'll say, the people that you gifted, they were so taken with your kindness. And, of course, I didn't tell them who you were or anything, so they decided they were going to take that up and do it also. And she said for months that gifting of having your bill paid for you without knowing who did it was going on and on and on and on from that one little act that I did.
Wow.
And I thought, thank you, Jesus, for helping me do it, because I think it's important.
Right.
And can I say one other thing?
Sure.
A lot of times over the holiday season, I'll work part-time at, a grocery store as a cashier. Well, I put my debit card in my pocket. You can't have cash, So everybody knows I'm not stealing or anything. So if people come in front of me with food and you can see they're kind of, oh, gosh, can I afford this? I'll use my own debit card and pay for it. And the line behind them, seeing that happen, they were talking, and then they said, oh, I'm going to pay for the little lady, the handicapped lady down here. I'm going to stay by the side after I do mine. And can I pay for hers? Well, sure, of course. And there were so many blessings in my line. But see, I didn't like it because people knew who I was. And I'm going, I don't need this. So that's why I stick mostly to being anonymous.
Hmm. Well, Marie, yeah, thank you for calling in, and you're sharing a key principle here, and I think that is, charity, how charity plays a role in all of this. I was reading in the Magnificat today, the Magnificat prayer resource, the Reflection, which is a selection from Pope Benedict XVI, and I'll just read a little bit of this here because I found it very interesting. The oldest sources concerning Saint Nicholas point in the same direction from a different angle. Nicholas is one of the first people to be venerated as a saint without having been a martyr. His miracle was not that of great heroism in the face of torture, imprisonment, and death. It was the miracle of constant kindness in everyday life. And you're living that out, Marie. And I know you probably don't want any pats on the back or applause or anything like that. But what you do, you in that restaurant situation, you really started kind of like a chain reaction. And God bless you for being on the lookout for opportunities. When people come through your checkout line and you get the sense that maybe it's a little difficult for them to be able to afford what they have right there. I think many of us have done that on an occasion or two once in a while, but it sounds like it's almost kind of a way of life for Marie, Debbie.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree, Marie. It's in line with Mark's call from Tennessee. This idea of spreading kindness, sharing kindness, so that we can help to comfort others, heal others, make others feel like they are valued. That is a beautiful thing. And that is not work. That is ministry in action. That is being Christ out there in the world. So, Marie, God bless you. We pray for more opportunities for you to share that kindness. Any final comments?
No, thank you for the prayers, because I want to see where it's needed, and I want to be that person that can do it. I just really, it blesses me.
And it blesses others. It's the mystical body of Christ. Beautiful, Marie. Thank you so much. Happy Advent to you. That is just amazing. Nicole from Dallas, Texas, listening on Guadalupe Radio Network, couldn't hold but left us a story, Jerry. Would you like to share?
Well, she said in 1994, the Green family was traveling in Italy. They were approached by robbers. One shot him in the head. 7 people benefited from the donation of his organs. A lot of people are touched by the 7 gifts of Nicholas Green.
Wow.
I had not heard that story before.
Yeah. That's a very fascinating, amazing story. Nicole, thank you so much for sharing that with us. There is an open phone line if you'd like to jump in. We're talking about on this feast day of St. Nicholas, jolly old St. Nick, the art of giving and receiving and what it means to go out there in the world and be Christ to others. 833-288 3986. Please join us by phone or email us or go on social media. We'll wave to you. Jerry and I are waving to you. So thank you so much to the Take Two family. Great show of support for this topic today on the Feast of St. Nicholas.
Okay, Peter, hold on in Buffalo. Ben got in right before you, so we'll go to Ben in Kansas City listening on EWTN.com. Hi, Ben. Welcome.
Hi, guys. How are you?
All right. How's your Advent going, Ben?
It's fantastic. I just wanted to talk a little bit about St. Nicholas of Myra. I wrote a book on St. Nicholas of Myra that was published last year. I won't give the name. I talked to the producer. But I did well over 5 years of research on him. I was in contact with the priest that's in charge of his remains in Bari, who passed along some of his writings to me, and he led a very, very hard life. People don't realize how hard a life the real St. Nicholas led. He was imprisoned at least twice. He was tortured. He was beaten for his religion. And through it all, he was a very giving and helping soul his entire life. He was on the scene and saving people's lives. He was known to bilocate, helping sailors who were running aground during storms onto rocks. They'd look back and they would see him at the tiller actually steering the ship away from the rocks. They would see St. Nicholas healing children hundreds of miles away while he was asleep in his bed back in Myra. He was quite the inspirational soul. In fact, by the year 800, there were more churches dedicated to St. Nicholas than any other saint, except, of course, St. Mary. So he was quite the being.
Wow, I'll say. A lot of this I was not aware of, Ben, but, you're absolutely right. And I mentioned, I read that quote from Pope Benedict XVI. He said he didn't die a martyr, as in terms of being tortured or killed for the faith. But you brought up the fact that he was persecuted, tortured, beaten, imprisoned, and so forth. But, the thing is, no matter what a saint has done, if a man or woman is a saint, they have suffered greatly. There's no question about that. Jesus says, take up our cross and follow him each and every day. And that's exactly what we have to do. And where does the cross lead to? The cross leads to crucifixion. Jesus says, take up your cross. I got mine. Mine is headed to Calvary. I'm going to be crucified. And so as we carry our crosses, that is our goal as well. But it leads to life. And it leads to the life of not only ourselves, but a lot of other people, as St. Nicholas made sure of. Ben, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we appreciate you joining us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie today. Be right back.
This is Sandra McDevitt with a Did You Know moment. Did you know the St. Lawrence River, which connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes, was named after a Catholic saint? Jacques Cartier, a French explorer, arrived at the entrance to the river August 10, 1534. It was the feast day of St. Lawrence, and the river was so named. St. Lawrence was one of 6 deacons martyred under Valerian's edict of death for Christian clergy, offering St. Lawrence clemency if he handed over the church's gold and silver. The saint gathered up all the poor of the area and handed them to Valerian as the church's gold and silver. Enraged, Valerian had St. Lawrence put on a gridiron of hot coals. Witnesses recorded the martyrdom. So, now you know about the saint the St. Lawrence River is named after. I'm Sandra McDevitt for EWTN Radio.
Stand Tall is now offering advanced group coaching sessions with master coaches highly trained in life skills. Visit standtalltoday.com and register for one of our upcoming group coaching events. These virtual opportunities are designed to take you to the next level of life in your relationships, career, faith walk, and so much more. Space is limited, so hurry to standtalltoday.com. That's standtalltoday.com.
Pray the Rosary with Father Benedict Rochelle in a beautiful and reverent recording of The Rosary is a Place, with meditations by Father Groeschel and original music and lyrics by Simonetta. Visit EWTNRC.com today.
Hi, this is Cy Kellett. Later today on Catholic Answers Live, 2 hours of open forum. Joe Heschmeyer, our guest. Catholic Answers Live, 6 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
It's the feast day of St. Nicholas, and we are celebrating it today with this special episode, and the Take Two family is stepping up. As always, you guys are enhancing this conversation, gracing the conversation. Wow, we are learning and growing together. That's what Take Two is all about, and has been going strong for 8.5 years, thanks to you, the Take Two family. You guys are amazing. Congratulations going out to another member of the EWTN radio family. St. Jude Catholic Church in Mansfield, Texas is celebrating 9 years with EWTN. Congratulations to Joel Rodriguez and everyone at KYRE in Mansfield, Texas, from your friends here at EWTN Radio. Way to go, team. 9 years. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of giving of great programs to people.
It is, absolutely. Thanks for all of you who help keep them on the air. Debbie, you're doing a pledge drive this week, too, I understand.
I am with Aquinas Communications in Dubuque, Iowa, and it's a one-day St. Nicholas pledge drive, and it's going strong, and folks are stepping up, giving some great donations to KCRD, and we're just so grateful because they're trying to get a new translator to reach more souls. So we got to keep Catholic radio going and growing.
Absolutely. All right, Peter's been holding patiently in Buffalo, New York, listening on the Station of the Cross. Hi, Peter.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Happy that you called. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you, no problem. First, I just wanted to say I wanted to offer a prayer, Debbie, to you for your health.
Oh,
And I'm sure you're a very strong person, and Jerry and yourself both shine the light of the Lord through your ministry and through this radio program. So we need you both. And Jerry, I'm praying for you as well to become a priest, and I'm sure you'll be successful, and I'm sure you'll be awesome, and you'll be able to help people even more than you help them now.
Oh, praise God. Thank you, Peter. We both appreciate it. Yeah.
And the two most giving people I've ever met are Jerry and Debbie.
Oh.
I have to say that really quick.
Oh my goodness! Thanks.
And I mean that because I listen to you guys all the time, and you guys, you don't know how much you help people. Whether I've heard you say, to someone who's really, down, give the call screener, stay on the line, give the call screener your phone number, and I'm going to call you back after the program and talk to you. I've heard you say that, Debbie. I mean, Jerry, I don't know if I've heard you say that enough, maybe you said it as well, but to do that after you're doing the whole program and you have your whole personal life and everything, that just shows how much you really care and how much you really are genuine. You know what I mean? That you really want to help people. It's not just that you're doing anything for yourself. You're doing this for the Lord, and you don't really want accolades like that. Marie in Virginia said, which if I lived in Virginia, I was going to say a little funny thing. I was going to say, did you find out what restaurant she eats at every day? Mm-hmm. Because joking, maybe she'd pick up my check. That was a bad joke.
Right.
But,
no,
it was a good one.
But I caught the program a few minutes late, so about giving, and I just want to say really quickly, the real person that I'm calling about that is the most giving and thoughtful and kind and sweet person that I've ever met is my mother. She's still with us. She'll be 78 this coming June. And we were, when we were little, there were 4 of us kids. We were poor, okay? And my parents are the most comfortable now than they've ever been. My dad's 86, and he'll be 87 in April. And I just think about it, like now, I'm 56, and just the stuff that she does for me, or the stuff that she will do for, like, total strangers, or, like a family member of one of her friends. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I have thoughts. I don't know what's wrong with me because I must not be, I am not like her. I do have thoughts about being giving and doing thoughtful things, but for the most part, unfortunately, I have these great grandiose thoughts and ideas, but then it goes in one ear and out the other. Not that I've never been giving somebody or, kind or sweet. I've done little things, but not like my mother. And the things that I'm sorry.
No, Peter, let me just ask you a couple questions. Can you give us your mom's first name? I brought out the prayer book. Eleanor. Okay. But Peter, what's beautiful about what you shared? You may have, you said you have great intentions to, and these ideas to give and stuff, but it doesn't follow through. But you recognize when other people give. And in that recognition, Peter, that says a lot. That says that you're aware of what other people do and how they can give and how they can sacrifice. And I know just from being a mom, when you said, the person I'm really calling up about is my mother. I mean, I burst into tears when you were saying the kind things about us. So thank you so very much. But really, as a mother, my heart just kind of exploded because we all want our kids to recognize that. And you do. You recognize that about your mom, Eleanor. That is a beautiful thing. And I hope Eleanor's listening right now. She's got a pretty cool son. I think that's incredible. So, Peter, I think your heart is in the right place. What do you say, Jerry?
No, I agree with everything you said. What do you think, Peter?
Well, I think I have a good heart.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I've done little things here and there. But and Debbie, you're about to, I'm fighting back the tears when you just said that about being a mother, and because the other thing is that I was just gonna show how she gave, how it changed over the years. I mean, when she was like, when she was, they were trying to make ends meet by at least go to like 3 or 4 grocery stores every week to buy food, and double and triple coupons back in the 70s. I don't know if people even do that anymore. And I remember like going to school. This is like what she did for us. And I had 2 brothers and a sister, and I remember coming home from school, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad worked 2 jobs because he wanted his kid to have a mother at home and a father, working, because he never had that. And I remember coming home a lot of days. She'd always bake fresh cookies on the kitchen table. We'd go up to our bedroom, and this is when we were like really small, like elementary school age. She knew how to sew really well. She would make us, all of us boys, like play clothes. Like we'd come home and we'd have like a brand new T-shirt on the ends of our bed, all ironed, and maybe even like a pair of like play pants, whatever fabric she had. And we would wear them and stuff like that. And then now, I mean, obviously as she got older, just helping people that she worked with, that, a family member, you don't have the horrible stories, whether we want to call them horrible or not, but you know what I mean? Like if someone, all of a sudden a mother that's 25 years old that has 3 kids and a husband and they're faithful Catholic, she gets brain cancer and, passes on. And then we can debate whether that's a good thing, because you can always see the positive and stuff like that, or a bad thing. Well, she'll do stuff like that for people. You know what I mean? She'll, whether it's making meals or making baskets full of all kinds of things, and just, even like for me, still, like, I'll go over there just to hang out with them or have dinner over there, just real casually or whatever. I rarely ever bring them anything. They don't even want anything. They just want to spend time with you. And my mother will be like, she'll come up with like 2 shopping bags. I went shopping and I bought you some clothes, so here, try them on before you leave. Stuff, and other stuff. I mean, I had to go on and on and on about other stuff, but I just wanted to say, and that she's really affected me as well. To try to be that way. I do stuff like that. I go to the drive-through, and I'll pay for the person that's behind me. And again, it's supposed to be anonymous. Like Marie said, in Virginia, she doesn't want any accolades. I think Jesus, you guys will correct me, I think Jesus said, I don't know how he said it, maybe one of the disciples said it, whoever, that when you do give, you're not really supposed to be looking for any thanks, like in your name, and that's why it always bugs me when I go to like a college or something like that, and people that are really wealthy, which is nice what they do. They'll like donate an entire building for like $2 million or something like that. But then you look what's above the door, the Andersons art department school. You know what I mean? Like they have to have their name on the building in order to give them money. And I always don't like that. I'm not trying to judge, but I don't want to turn this into a negative call. Not to be nasty. I don't want to turn this into a negative call, but
yeah. Well, you made a reference, I think, a very apt reference to Matthew chapter 6. When you give alms, do not let your right hand know what your left hand is doing, and that's a great principle to practice. Just regarding your mom and your dad, I mean, working 2 jobs to let your mom be home with you kids as you were growing up. We have done a lot of shows where we have asked people to give shouts out and really tell us how great their parents were, and I get emotional sometimes. Debbie, you recall this. When we hear these stories about the hardworking, dedicated moms and dads, the giving, the selflessness.
Yep.
And Peter, it sounds like you really had that beautiful environment growing up, and it sounds like it is carried over to this day. Like you said, you pop in pop in casually and have dinner with your folks, and you didn't even know it, but your mom's got some clothes for you to try on, and It just sounds like you've been very blessed. That's what I would take away from Peter's call. Debbie, what about you?
I totally agree. And Peter, you really made this conversation special. Thank you so much. And thank you for the kind words all the way around.
Yeah.
Wow. You're an incredible member of the Take Two family. Thank
We'll
you.
take
Thank
the prayers.
you. Yes. Huh? Well, we'll take the prayers.
I said we'll take the prayers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We love prayers. Believe me, we love prayers. We're all about prayer. Okay, Mary is up next in Central Connecticut on the Station of the Cross as well. Hi, Mary.
And Jerry and family, and happy St. Nicholas Day.
Thank you.
And to you real quick, I wanted to tell you, I prayed Angela's prayers for each of you on your respective birthdays.
Oh,
thank
you.
I wanted to send you a note with a hymn that goes with it, but my computer's not working for a couple months. So someday, out of the blue, you'll get it.
Thank you.
But the reason I called, I've been thinking of St. Nicholas for different reasons the past few days and just beautiful things that have happened. But before I was going to call, I made one other phone call. I broke my radio that I listened to you on. I'm mostly blind, and it fell to the floor. And that's happened before, but this time it's making a buzzing sound, and it's making me nervous. So I said I better replace it. So I called the store where I had gotten them before. It's been discontinued, this model. But the person I was speaking with said he could help me. If he couldn't find it, he would find something close to it. It's an analog radio. It's a very large dial, and I can bring in stations that normally I would not get. And he spent so much time with me on the phone. He was the kindest person. And when there would be a pause, I would think of something, and I have a way of going on tangents. And he said the name, he couldn't find the exact model. He found another one that was pretty close, seemed like it had a little even more power to it. And he said the name was Studbaker, Studbaker. And I didn't think a lot of it, but it was like, it's a strange name. And then I remembered my dad had a car named Studebaker. And when my mom was in a nursing home, she had dementia with Parkinson's, and they were doing a memory book for her where I gave them photos, and she would talk about them. It was like speech therapy, but much more. And when she got to that photo of Mom and Dad about to drive away for their honeymoon, she said, oh, that was Vince Studebaker. It was maroon. And she could remember it like it was yesterday. She couldn't remember things in the present. She didn't really know who I was. I was a little girl that worked there. And but when he said that, I said, you know what? And I told him the connection. He said, things like that don't happen by chance. And it was like everything I said, he said something more. And we got into such a deep conversation. And he's a believer, and he believes in heaven. I said, I feel like this is a sign from my parents today that they're praying for me. And he said, well, there's someone special in my life whose name was Mary. And I don't know if it's the same person, but he said he took care of his grandmother when she had dementia. And we started talking about things on the surface are not what's really important. And I said, oh, did you ever read, and he was in another country, so I wasn't sure if he would know it, but I asked him if he ever read The Little Prince that we used to read when we were little. And it may be in a different language. He wasn't sure right away, and I said, there's a quote in there. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. And he knew right away. He said, that's my favorite book. And everything I would say, he would add to it until it got to such a beautiful conversation. And a friend, he gave me his extension. If I ever need to order from them again, he will spend an hour on the phone like he did today helping me. Wow. And it just gave me this beautiful, happy feeling. And I said, you know, today's the feast of St. Nicholas. And I feel like a little child that's just gotten a beautiful, beautiful gift from St. Nicholas, and I truly believe that.
Wow. So this just happened, this whole conversation unfolded just because of kind of a chance phone call, Mary, you're saying?
Yeah, I thought it would be like a 10-minute phone call where I would order the new radio from the SKU number that I had from the previous one. And yeah, it was a long, long call. I wasn't even sure I would be able to call you. I had a different comment I was originally going to make, but now this has taken precedence. But yeah, it was a totally random call. I don't want to say the name of the store, but yeah, just a box store that I connected with someone that was meant, and I told him that a few times during the call. I said, things like this don't happen by chance, and once in a great while, I will get someone on the phone that's just like a kindred spirit. Mm-hmm. And we ended the call. He's going to pray for me. I'm going to pray for him. I'm going to try to look up the Little Prince again and read that section. It was just, I can't even describe. It was like on a whole different level.
Yeah. Well, it organically unfolded, and with the Studebaker connection and everything. I mean, Mary, these kinds of encounters, Jerry and I have seen them for so many years. We don't believe it's an accident. We believe God is lining up and orchestrating and having it everybody do their part to make these connections for deeper reasons, so that we can think back, we can think deeper about our own lives and people around us. Mary, you were blessed today, all because that radio broke, right?
Right. Very blessed. And, listening to different people, it is like there is a deeper level of everything we do. And you're like a mother and a father to me, not really because I'm much older than you are, or like a sister and a brother, but really the skills you have, the insights you have, and just bringing things out, these thoughts that you have to give people and clarifying things is really a special gift.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. You're a special person too, and you had that beautiful divine appointment today, and so we are glad that you shared it with us here on this program, especially on this Feast of St. Nicholas, when we're talking about giving and charity and giving of ourselves to other people. Great call, Mary. Thank you. Gene in Iowa, we're going to get to you right after I just real quickly mention another show on EWTN. It's called The Catholic Sphere, Sunday afternoons at 2:30 Eastern Time. Every week, a different host brings on a panel of 3 experts, and what they do is they tackle topics on the minds of Catholics, from theology to social media, from young parents to the universal church. You can surround yourself with solid answers as you enter the Catholic Sphere, Sunday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern Time, right here on EWTN Radio.
Okay, we will go to Jean in Carroll, Iowa, on KMYJ. Hello, Jean, and welcome.
Hello, both of you. And I'm calling especially right now for you, Debbie. I listen to the show every day, like most people, and you're incredible. I'm not trying to just boost you up. You are incredible, and I know you're a life coach. You studied this in school. You got a degree and all that. What you have, you don't learn in school. You are what you are, and you have the biggest heart and the kindest disposition and a giving disposition and heart. You make everyone feel important and like they're going to be a saint one day. You are not prideful, to say the least. You give of yourself always, and it's in your heart, and you don't learn it in school. And I think God has his eye on you. I know you've got that stinky cancer thing going on. Yeah, I know it's a real pain in the butt. But it serves its purpose. It serves its purpose, as you well know. It's a cross you're bearing. That's right. But God's got his eye on you, and you are going to get rewarded big time when your time comes, which is a long time from now, I hope, and I'm sure. But I just wanted you to know that you're the least prideful person I think I've ever listened to. You give of yourself constantly. And that's what I wanted to say. I'm going to hang up now.
Well,
I'm going to hang up now.
Well, wait a minute. Before you hang up, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I was so proud of myself that I cleared up my eyes so well after Peter's call, and then I just lost it. So I'm a total mess. But I want to say it's a good mess because you really hit my heart very deeply, Jean, and I just want to say thank you so very, very much. You have a beautiful love inside of your heart, and it shows. And just I'm truly overwhelmed and humbled. And I just it's life is hard. Life is hard, and it's hard for a lot of people. And I think that the more we get out there and share our ups and downs and twists and turns, with no, candy shell or anything like that. Just go out there and be real. I think it can really help people. And so I've tried to do that. And thanks for recognizing it, Jean.
Absolutely. You are what you are, and God has blessed you deeply so that you can bless us, and you do. Every day you bless us. Thank you, Debbie, and Jerry, too. I don't mean to leave you out, Jerry.
Oh, he's always left out, Jean. Don't worry about it. He's
for it.
used
I
to
agree
it.
with everything you said about Debbie. I'm just smiling here as you're talking because you're right on every point, Jean.
Oh.
Well, thank you both. You're both good, but especially I know what you're going through and everything, and believe me, it's worth it. What you're going through is worth it, and it will pay off one day. Believe me, big time, in a good way.
So hopefully we'll have, God willing, that party in heaven. Okay, Jean?
Absolutely. I'll be there, I hope, and I know you'll be there.
Oh, yeah. It'll be fun. We can eat anything we want. There's no calories associated with it. We'll have a blast.
I love that. I love it.
Me too. Oh,
God bless you, Jean. Thanks for being part of the
thank you,
Take Two
Jean.
family in today's
Wow.
conversation.
That was amazing. So unexpected on the feast day of St. Nicholas. They say there's such a thing as, they call it the ugly cry. Have you ever heard of that? You probably never heard of it.
I haven't.
Yeah, they say for women, they say whatever you do, don't go on camera or anything and start crying because it's not a pretty sight. And I've definitely messed up today on video. So everybody erase your video.
Yeah, right.
But Jerry, I want to say something because Jean was so kind, and Peter and the others, everybody, Mary, everybody was so great. Mark, who got us started, and now our show team is weighing in and agreeing with everybody. Well, we love the show team as well. We love Matt and Jeff and Ace. You guys are amazing. We cannot thank you enough how much we love you, and we love you. But I want to send this over to Mr. Usher because there's and I have to do this because there's a lot of things that people don't know about Jerry, and the fact that he has helped so many people. And I'm thinking of one person in particular that unfortunately was falsely accused and had to go serve some time in prison. And what a lot of people don't know is this person wasn't visited a lot by people, and people kind of distanced themselves, but not Jerry. Jerry kept in touch, and nobody knew about it. And he did it on a regular basis because of the goodness of his heart. And so, Jerry, I'm thinking of this special friend today, and I'm thinking about how many times he has told me how nobody ever knew all the kind things that you did, but it really helped him and saved him when he was at his lowest. So, Jerry, you've got that huge heart, and I do agree with Jean and the others. You're going to make a great priest someday.
Oh, well, good Lord willing, Deb. You're beautiful for saying that, and I appreciate the prayers of everyone. And the friend that Debbie's talking about, I mean, it was just the right thing to do. I mean, it wasn't. I would have hoped somebody would do that for me. God forbid I would ever end up in those circumstances. But, especially someone who was, unjustly and falsely accused of abuse and did spend 7 years in a state prison, but is doing thriving now. Came to faith when he was in prison as well. So that was beautiful. So thank you, Deb, for that. And God bless you.
Well, just encouragement to keep going because you're in formation for the priesthood, and we'd like to call you Father Jerry someday. So,
well, keep the prayers up, and that might happen.
Okay, it sounds great. On this Feast of St. Nicholas, what a great episode, what a great broadcast. If you got something out of it, please share it far and wide on social media. Again, thanks to the show team. You guys did a great job. Jerry?
All right, we're going to be back with you tomorrow with a pre-recorded broadcast, but it's a replay, one that if you didn't catch on Thanksgiving Friday, you don't want to miss. The show is on Divine Mercy. Our guest is Rick Paolini of the Station of the Cross. Be sure and join us for that tomorrow. In the meantime, have a beautiful and blessed day. St. Joseph, St. Nicholas, and all of the saints pray for us.
Are you a new listener to EWTN Radio? Welcome. We're here for you 24/7.
You'll hear live and interactive shows